Hi guys, Charlotte from Not Too Shabby by Charlotte here. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope it helps. So I just thought it would be really handy to put together a couple of little video series to help you when you're choosing colours. Because sometimes it's hard to choose between a couple of shades. You look at pictures on the internet, it's hard to tell how realistic they are. So I've done a little video on all the whites and neutrals for you. I've done a video on all the shades of grey through from white to black. I've done a video on all the blues in the Fusion range. I've done a video on all the greens in the Fusion range. And today I'm going to be doing a video on all the sort of warm shades in the palette. So yellows, oranges, reds, purples, that kind of thing. So I'll just sort of show you the range that we've got and the differences, and hopefully give you a little bit of guidance to help you choose a colour. If you want a little bit more help, we've always got the colour cards which are available to buy on the website with free postage. So they're just £2.99. And they show you all the colours that are true to colour. So they show you the whole range and they're true to colour, they're true to the finished texture that the paint will be. So they are a real great guide to help you choose your colours. And then if you wanted something a little bit more than that, these tester pots go miles. So there's a tester pot for £4.75. You can use that for a small project or a sample pot to try a little bit out to see how it looks in your room. And then you can move on. Ooh, there goes the colour card. And then you can move on when you want to do a large project to the full size 500ml jars. And for the pros out there, I'll put an elastic band around this, let's take it off. For the pros out there, we've got these fan decks, which are amazing because they're a much larger area of the paint. You can put them next to things, so you can sort of say, oh, what would go nicely with that Twilight Geranium. You can see how the colours work right next to each other. So yeah, that is an absolute invaluable tool that I use every single day. So put my leggy band around there because I've separated off the colours that we're going to talk about. So yeah, let's talk through the warm shades. Should we do the yellows first? Let me separate off the yellows and I'll show you what yellows we've got in the range. Okay. So first things first, the palest yellow is limestone, which is actually also included in the cream palette when I discuss the creams, because it is a cream shade. It's just a yellow toned cream shade. So if you're looking for a yellow toned cream to go with your scheme or something that's not going to clash with the yellows that you've got, limestone is the palest that we've got. And then plaster, you put plaster next to it, you can see that's slightly more greyed off, slightly more saturated, a bit more pigment in it, a little bit darker. So that again is in the cream palette, but it's leaning towards the yellow, so it's that little bit more. Move that so I can move it. It's that little bit darker. So we've got limestone, we've got plaster, and then we have, what should I do next? Little Star. So Little Star, oh hang on. I've missed one. Then we move on to buttermilk. So you can see how you get the variety of colour there, from light through to medium through to the buttermilk cream. Is a really lovely vintage kind of heritage colour. It's got a warmth to it, it's got a softness to it, it's not vibrant. It's great for sort of vintage projects. And then moving on to this is a lovely colour. Prairie Sunset. That is such, I'm looking across, looking at the camera behind me because there's some chairs painted in Prairie Sunset behind me. This is a beautiful yellow, but without being too primary, without being too bright. It's sort of slightly leaning towards mustard. It's got that softness to it. So Prairie Sunset is the next colour we've got in the range. And then we've got Little Star. Little Star is a genius colour. This is a bright yellow. It paints beautifully. It's great as an accent. It's great to sort of pair with greens, blues, to sort of pick up and make the colours pop next to each other. What does it say on the back? Pair with Fork York Red for a bit of drama, or with Little Lamb for a fun and playful mood. Greys and yellows are a classic combo. They look great together. But what Little Star is also brilliant for is obviously it's one of the components when you're mixing greens. So if you want to create a slightly different green in the range, you can either tint one of the greens by adding a little bit of yellow to it to make it more of a yellow toned green, or you can mix the yellow with one of the blues. It's a great mixing colour, just to give you so many options to it. You can mix it with the reds to make more oranges, mix it with your corals to make them a little bit more yellow toned. It's great on its own, but it is an invaluable one to have in your toolkit for when you're trying to tint your colours slightly and bit more yellow. Then next, then we've got mustard. Mustard is lush. So let me put those three, because the ones before were sort of yellow toned creams really, but these are the three main yellows in the range. So we've got Prairie Sunset, Little Star and Mustard. Mustard is lush. It's so earthy and rich, and it's one of those really clever colours that when you pair it with the right colour, it'll look really contemporary, but it's also got that heritage vibe. If you pair it with more earthy, vintage kind of tones, it'll look really heritage as well. Like pair it with some dark mahogany, it'll look a lot more vintage. So there's our three yellows, which leads us on, if we follow the colour wheel nicely, which leads us on to orange. So you've got a nice bright orange, always lovely for an accent colour, or if you're brave, do a whole project in orange. So there we've got our Tuscan orange. Then we have coral. Coral is a lovely colour. Coral, I was just going to say, I'm reading the back of it, it says pair with azure for an energetic feel. It looks insane next to azure. You know what this is not against the rules really, we're supposed to be just going through the colours, but let me just pull out a bit of azure to show you how lush this is. Oh, look at those two next to each other. Oh, heaven. They're just proper, vibrant, happy, poppy colours. So yeah, coral is a lovely colour. Now I'm going to ruin my flow because I put the elastic band around so I didn't miss any colours and so I could go through them all in order. Okay, so that is next on the list, coral. Now we start to move into the pinks, I think. So we'll go from pink through to red, then we've got a couple of purples. So, first on the list, let's talk about peony. Peony, you will see when I hold it up to the camera that it is just such a lovely, soft, subtle pink, really, really feminine, girly and pretty. But again, what I love about colours, playing with colours, depending on what you pair it with, you can make it look really contemporary, you can make it look really different. It doesn't just have to be pretty and girly. So there is your peony. And then a huge favourite, big seller, damask. So let's move peony out of the way. Damask is a lovely vintage pink. It's kind of a little bit grubby looking. It's for pinks. There's so many people that say, oh, I don't like pink, but I love damask. This is perfect if you're not really a pink person, but you want a little touch of femininity and softness in your scheme. Damask is so popular. It looks insane with ash, with all of the greys. It looks beautiful with all the greys. So there you go, damask. What do we have next? Enchanted Echinacea. I love this one as well. I love them all. It's strange because I'm not really a pink kind of person either, but Enchanted Echinacea is that lovely kind of, it's not orange enough to be a terracotta, but so this is part of the Lisa Marie Holmes range. So it's called Enchanted Echinacea because it's inspired by the petals on the echinacea flower, which is a herb which is good for you in lots of ways, which I don't know. So they're beautiful, earthy, like relaxing. The whole point of the Lisa Marie range is that it's supposed to be therapeutic, relaxing, making your environment, when you walk into your room, you get that lovely, warm, soft, calming feeling. So that is Enchanted Echinacea. And then we'll move on to our two sort of reds in the range. So we've got Fort York Red, which is a true red, and Cranberry. Now, I'll warn you now, these are beautiful colours, but they are two of the colours in the range that because they're so bright, they don't have any white pigments in them, and the white pigments are what sort of fill it out and make it cover a bit better. So these are beautiful colours, but just be prepared when you start painting with them, they're going to need an additional coat or two. So normally Fusion, I mean, a lot of the colours you'd do one coat and think, wow, I'm nearly done. I would always put two coats on a piece of furniture just to get a real nice, solid, deep coverage. But yeah, most of the colours in the range are two coats and you're absolutely done. But these two, I would say, are a 3, maybe 4 coater, which is so worth it. I just like to be honest with you from the beginning, so when you start painting with it, you don't think that you're doing something wrong, or that there's something wrong with the paint, or that it's a horrible product. It's just certain colours, to get that vibrancy, they have different pigments in them, which take a little bit more coverage. So this is your Fort York Red and Cranberry. Now let's move on to the lovely purples. So these are two more colours from the Lisa Marie Holmes range. We've got Divine Lavender and Twilight Geranium. And oh, these colours are insane. Divine Lavender is so pretty. It's like, it's not a bright lilac purpley kind of shade. It's greyed off to give that relaxing, soft French kind of feel. So that's your Divine Lavender. And then Twilight Geranium is deep and sumptuous and luxurious and just blooming lovely. So there you go. And you know what I'm going to do? I don't think I've done this on any of the videos, but I'm also going to show you how the fan deck works. So when you open up the fan deck, the front 50 odd shades are the colours in the range, and then you've got the metallics in the middle, and then this section at the end, all of these colours. How many recipes are there? Let me have a look. 50 recipes, just helping you to mix, because obviously the number of colours in the rainbow is infinite. So these are some recipes, so you'll see that if you're looking for, if there wasn't quite the right shade of pink or purple to help you there that you wanted, we've got lots of recipes in here for those kinds of shades. I'm not showing. That's a better way of doing it. That's a loads better way of doing it. There's lots of recipes here to help you, and obviously if you're trying to mix something and you need a little bit of help, you know where I am. So I hope that video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and hope to speak to you soon. Bye.